I'm Tony Carfang. I am 28 years old. I'm originally from Chicago. I've been living here for just over 4 years, and I am a graduate research assistant in the aerospace engineering department. I've been racing for just over 7 years. It started at the collegiate level back in my undergrad in Chicago and continued out here. Bike racing is my passion. The reason I really love road racing is the strategy that's involved. There are so many team tactics that come into play to make it really interesting. I get a lot of enjoyment out of helping my teammates win, so even though I don't get the wins, I can still enjoy racing. A year and a half ago, hit the back of my head. It was hard enough that when my brain hit the back of my skull, it induced internal bleeding, and the rebound, the brain hit the front of the skull, and induced internal bleeding in the second spot. So I had 2 subdural hematomas, and it was a long recovery process after that. The symptoms of this concussion were so severe that, like, on a pain scale of 0 to 10, I had a headache constantly at a 7 or higher. Some of the treatment that was needed were mostly just painkillers or Vicodin to try to reduce the headaches, but not much after that. I met regularly with a cognitive therapist as well as a neurosurgeon. I had to do basically absolutely nothing for about 2 months before I could really start riding again. And even then, it was a very, very specific recovery riding process. If all of a sudden I went a little bit too hard on a bike ride, my headaches would come up again after being headache-free for a little while. And at one point in a bike ride, having that headache come up again, I started to worry that I'd never really be able to bike or be myself again. Just my teammates were very understanding about how my recovery process had to go. And so when I'd be on really slow training rides, like they wanted to get after a hill or something, and I'd be way off the back taking my time just to make sure my heart rate was low, they were very understanding and patient with that. Just under a year after the accident, shortly before racing season started, the entire collegiate A team got together and did some group rides and did some really hard training, and I was feeling strong. I didn't feel any issues with my heart or my head, and just being in a pack again in a sort of racing style mentality just really helped me feel normal again. To race bikes in Colorado, and racing at the collegiate level is so much different than just general racing that it's just an absolutely wonderful environment. Camping out with all of your friends at bike races, it's just an absolute blast.